Every day, you grab a glass. You fill it with water, a soda, a beer. Perhaps you like to fix yourself a drink, sometimes at home, or grab one when you're out and are gonna get a little bit frisky. It's such a small and ordinary thing, a simple object you use without even thinking. But what if I told you that your drinking glass might not be as green as you think it is? Because while glass looks pure, clean, and natural, most of the glasses we drink from today have a pretty dirty little secret. Today, we're putting drinking glasses to the ultimate sustainability test. Because if something as small as the cup you sip from every day isn't sustainable, how can we expect the rest of our lifestyle to be? So, what is the most sustainable drinking glass in the world? Let's start with the bad news first. According to the European Union, in 2022, glass manufacturing produced an estimated amount of 95 million tons of CO2. And God knows we've not been consuming less since then. So while we think we're making an eco-friendly choice by avoiding plastic cups, the carbon footprint of your reusable glass can actually be surprisingly high. Most of the glasses in your kitchen cabinet are made from something called soda lime glass. It's the standard material for drinkware. It's affordable, clear, and easy to shape. To make soda lime glass, factories mix three components: silica sand, limestone, and soda ash. Let's start by explaining where silica comes from first. Silica is the chemical component itself, and it comes from quartz, which is a naturally occurring mineral made almost entirely of silica. Only high purity quartz sand is used in the process of glass making, which is basically quartz but made almost entirely of silica with very few impurities. After it's cleaned and processed, it is carefully mined and refined to remove dust, clay, and minerals to become industrial silica sand, which will be used in the glassmaking process. Other types of sand like beach sand or construction sand are too dirty or irregular for drinking glasses, which is why only specific deposits of silica are suitable for production. This is another problem too, as silica sand is heavily mined from rivers, lakes, and coastal ecosystems, so companies strip natural habitats bare to get it. This causes erosion, harms wildlife, and even fuels illegal mining operations in some parts of the world. Let's talk about limestone now. Limestone is a naturally occurring rock mined from quarries and sometimes from underground deposits, formed over millions of years from shells and coral. In glassmaking, limestone acts as a stabilizer, helping the final product stay strong and chemically resistant. While it's natural, extracting and transporting limestone still has environmental impacts, including habitat disruption, dust, and energy use. Finally, there is soda ash, which is another key ingredient in glassmaking. Most of it is produced industrially, combining limestone and salt through chemical reactions. This helps to lower the melting temperature of silica to 1500 degrees instead of 1710 degrees, and saves some energy in glass production. The manufacturing process itself generates significant carbon dioxide emissions and can produce waste byproducts that need careful disposal. In other words, even though it makes glass easier to melt, the process requires a huge amount of energy, and that energy mostly comes from fossil fuels. In other words, most glass cups start with burning gas and coal. Now you might think,
okay, but glass is recyclable, so at least we're good there, right?
well, not exactly. Yes, glass can be recycled infinitely, in theory, but in practice, most drinking glasses aren't recycled at all. Here's why. Drinkware has a different chemical composition from bottles and jars, which usually are the glass containers that you're told to separate from the rest of your trash for recycling. Drinkware can contain additives such as borosilicate, and in some cases, certain crystal drinkware may contain lead or barium, all of which melt at different temperatures. That means most recycling facilities reject drinking glasses since they can ruin entire batches of recycled glass. So what happens? Well, they end up in landfills where they'll stay for thousands of years. That means the wine glass you break today could still exist when your great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren are alive. Not exactly circular, is it? You might argue,
But glass lasts forever. That's sustainable.
and yes, durability can be sustainable, but only if it actually stays in use. If it breaks, or if it's thrown out, or if it can be recycled, then it becomes permanent waste. Sustainability isn't only about how long something lasts. It's about what happens at the end of its life. Now that we know the problems, let's talk solutions because there are amazing, generally sustainable glasses out there. The first is recycled glass drinkware. These are glasses made from post-consumer recycled glass, also known as cullet. Using recycled glass instead of new materials reduces energy used by up to 30%. This is due to the lower melting temperature of cullet compared to raw materials like silica sand, soda ash, and limestone. Since the energy required to melt it is lower, the CO2 emissions are also inferior, and they get reduced by a conservative amount of at least 20%. The need for new silica sand mining is also no longer needed, therefore avoiding the negative impacts that we talked about before, such as erosion, harming wildlife, or fueling illegal mining operations in certain parts of the world. Next, there's upcycled glassware, one of my personal favorites. These are glasses made from repurposed bottles, often by small artisans or local workshops. They cut, polish, and smooth old bottles into new drinking glasses, giving waste a second life. It's creative, low energy, and every piece is unique. Plus, it supports local craftsmanship instead of large-scale industrial pollution. Another option to consider is borosilicate glass, which you may know by the brand name Pyrex. Unlike standard soda-lime glass, borosilicate glasses have remarkable thermal and chemical resistance. That means it's much less likely to crack or break when exposed to hot or cold liquids. A single Pyrex glass can last decades if treated well. From a sustainability standpoint, this durability is a huge advantage. The longer a glass stays in use, the less frequently you need to replace it, reducing both production energy and waste. While borosilicate glass is more energy intensive to manufacture than soda-lime glass initially, its extended lifespan and lower breakage rate make it a strong choice. And then, there's one of the most exciting innovations in sustainable drinkware, edible glasses. These are made from natural biodegradable ingredients like seaweed, rice, potato starch, or even sugar. They're designed to be used once, then eaten or composted, leaving behind zero waste. Imagine finishing a drink and then eating the glass, crunchy, slightly sweet, and completely harmless to the planet. While they're not meant to replace durable glass at home, they're an incredible alternative for events, parties, or outdoor use. It's the perfect blend of creativity and circular design. This is outside of the scope of the glasses themselves, but I wanted to point out that in some countries, there are local and refillable glass systems through bottle return programs. The same container can be washed and reused dozens of times before recycling, saving up to 80% more energy than making a new one. Whenever possible, support brands or cafes that use returnable glass systems. Reusing always beats recycling. On the other hand, avoid anything labeled as eco or green without proof, as well as colored or decorative glasses from unknown sources, and very cheap bulk sets. They're usually made from virgin glass, which refers to glass made entirely from raw, unrecycled materials rather than including cullet. So, what is the most sustainable drinking glass? Well, it's the one made from recycled glass, upcycled glassware, borosilicate glass, or designed to leave no trace. Even if that means it's edible, though this will qualify more for your occasional events. Again, like in my previous video, I've written down certifications that affirm if the glassware you buy adheres to environmental and social criteria. Check out the description if you want to check those that I found. If you like this video and want to see more breakdowns of sustainable products, please comment, like, and subscribe. It really helps the channel to start gaining some traction and helps us make smarter and cleaner choices. This video though isn't meant to pressure you into making a change right away. It's simply to raise awareness so that when the time feels right for you, you'll already be ready. And remember, yesterday doesn't define you, growth does. And growth starts with the decisions you make from this moment on. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.